Hey guys, what is up and welcome to Resort Originals. We just had some groundbreaking new innovation within the Pokemon games of Sword and Shield, and that is bringing not only regional variants, but regional variants having brand new evolutions. Like that just freaking, that blew my mind completely, and I know this is something that we are going to really get behind. So one thing I want to do is kind of go through the list of Pokemon and see which ones even have the ability to get that second stage evolution. So we're going to be going through that today with the Kanto region. So let's get into it. So going through this list, one thing that we can kind of consider is if a Pokemon already has a Mega Evolution, we're probably not going to be getting a regional variant evolution. So my assumption is any Pokemon that really hasn't gotten any new love as of late, those are going to be the ones that Pokemon might prioritize first. So we're just going to start going through the list and see what's going to be available. So the first one, numerically, I guess, would be Clefairy and Clefable. So we don't have that third stage of the evolution branch where we have Clefairy, then Clefable, but we could get the regional variants of them, and I think it'd be kind of cool to finally acknowledge the similarity between Gengar and Clefable. So if we gave Clefable a dark typing or a dark ghost typing or some kind of a ghost fairy typing, I think that'd be a really cool regional variant. So that would be the first one that we could potentially get for Sword and Shield. The next one on the list we have is Paras and Parasect. Now the Pokemon that they don't really get too much love, so I'm not sure how much love we'd get in Sword and Shield as far as making it a regional variant, but it at least has that option for that final stage to become a regional variant evolution. So I think that'd be kind of neat to see what we could possibly come up with an insect type Pokemon. So I think it'd probably still keep its bug typing, but we'd add something else to it. So if I were to pick one thing to maybe change it up, I would say screw it, let's make it an ice typing, and you would be able to find a bug in an ice area, which is very uncommon, which I think the contradiction between the two typings would be kind of neat to see within the upcoming games. Next up we have Psyduck and Golduck. Getting a Golduck evolution would pretty much blow my mind because I already love Golduck so much. Not the biggest fan of Psyduck, more the personality of Psyduck than the design of Psyduck. So getting a Golduck evolution would just be absolutely incredible. And I think it'd be kind of cool to switch it from a duck that lives in water to a duck that lives on land. So changing it from water typing into maybe a ground typing would be pretty interesting to see. As long as it doesn't get a normal typing, that's all I'm really asking for. We already got that with the new Pokemon, and I don't really want to see that again. So let's just make sure it gets anything but normal typing attached to its new type. Next is Mankey and Primates. Now, I could definitely see Primate becoming a lot bigger, so it's kind of just stays at a fuzzball with arms, so there definitely seems to be a lot of room where they would be able to work with it. So instead of giving it a fighting typing, maybe it could become a psychic typing instead, and it's not as aggressive anymore, where it's more of a passive Pokemon. So I think giving it more of a relaxed nature to it would be a great kind of opposite style Pokemon than what we already have. So seeing a different personality take on the Pokemon would actually be pretty neat to see a Galarian evolution for that final stage of the Mankey line. Now, one that I think would be really cool would be Ponyta and Rapidash. Now, it's mainly fire typing, so I think doing something that would throw you off a little bit, and I think at least the way it resembles it seems to be just a little bit more feminine, so I think maybe giving it a fairy typing and maybe having like some glitter or some kind of fairy aura kind of coming off of its mane instead of fire, that'd be kind of a different take on the Pokemon. So I think it just kind of changed it up a little bit and pretty cool to see. As far as the evolution of Rapidash goes, you'd have to almost do something a little bit different. If I were to give it anything, I'd maybe just make its horn a lot bigger, and that would be like the new primary feature on it, and maybe giving it wings to become more of a fantasy-like horse. So I think that would be something pretty neat to see. So if we got maybe like a fairy flying typing from it, I think it'd be pretty cool. So that's going to be my take on the evolution for Rapidash. Now the next one happens to be in a lot of rumors and supposed leaks. Now a lot of leaks have actually kind of come to fruition, and it's a little disappointing, but we can also kind of speculate what could possibly come of it. Now, because Farfetch'd, that's the only one of its lines, so it can maybe evolve twice. Who knows? Pokemon's throwing everything out the window with this game, so I think it'd be kind of fun to maybe see 2 evolutions. But definitely, since it's already a land duck, we might get the regional variant instead of maybe just regular evolution to it. So if we were to change the typing, it's a land duck. Maybe we flip it kind of like with Golduck, where it becomes from a water duck to a land duck, and then we switch from Farfetch'd from being a land duck to a water duck. So just seeing some kind of a differentiation between the two would be pretty neat. And I think just as far as its style is, I mean, it's already a duck, just more making it just like kind of a stronger duck, basically, where it's a little bit stronger in its legs and it seems like it's going to be a little bit more physical. So maybe like a water fighting typing? That sounds kind of cool to me. And next we have Doduo and Dodrio, and I think it'd be kind of weird giving it 4 heads, but I guess if we were going to take it anywhere, we could do something like the one Yu-Gi-Oh monster where it's got like 5 dragon heads to it. But I think we would have to do something to still get a bit an evolution, maybe instead of adding any more heads, even though that seems to be what the Pokemon's about, because Doduo, that's duo is 2, Dodrio, that's trio, that's 3. So I mean, Do Quattro, why not? Screw it. I mean, if I don't really see it happening, but that seems to be the only direction we could possibly take this Pokemon. So you know what? Screw it. Give it 4 heads. It's unrealistic, so let's just make it a ghost type since, I don't know, it's already creepy enough. So sure, but there's my Do Quattro. And then one Pokemon that is a very normal looking Pokemon is Seal and Dugong, and I think they could probably do something a little bit more with it. Now with the Seal type, I mean, all Seal are kind of in the water, so I think they'd want to keep the base water typing for Seal and maybe just give it just something fun, something different. So if I just look at the typings, you know what, screw it, let's give it Electro typing, because maybe out of its little gem that it's got, or like the little horn on its head, maybe it can become something that it radiates energy or something. I don't even know. I'm trying to figure out every single Pokemon that can change its typing to something else. It can literally be anything you want, but if I'm just gonna throw something out there, let's throw a Psychic typing on it, make it water. Water Psychic, give it just aura around it. I don't even know. I'd have to talk to somebody about this to figure out where we can get that. Maybe I'll do it and I'll just throw some fan art on there and just say, here, just do this. All right, next we have Shelder and Cloyster. Now, I think this would actually be kind of interesting, where we could maybe do like a Toxapex approach, where, I mean, we already have with Cloyster, it's just a head and then it's a big shell. Let's just screw it, make the shell bigger, or maybe you make something develop that's within the shell that's not just a face, to really make whatever form that it could become just so much more gigantic, and then whatever's in there kind of fully develops. But I mean, it's a clam. I mean, it's kind of just like whatever mucky grossness in there anyway. So I don't know, just make the shell extra spiky or something like that, and maybe just throw on a ghost typing to it, where maybe the head becomes more of an energy style and it just becomes a ghost because it dies, but it was able to reincarnate in another shell, and the shell is like super spiky, and that's what we get out of it. Sure. And next on the list we have Hypno and Drowsy. Now there's actually a lot you could probably do with this, where it's more humanoid-like. So I mean, if you just kind of want to make it a lot bigger, if you want to make it more psychic as far as like a Mega Alakazam style goes. Now with the psychic typing, you could just switch it to a fighting typing it, to just make it the opposite, and just make it more like a Hitmonlee, Hitmonchan kind of style to the new evolution. That's kind of where I could see it possibly go, but who knows? Let me know if you guys honestly have any other better ideas than me that the Pokemon could change to as far as typing goes, and what the new body could be for it. And then next we have Kingler and Krabby. Now honestly, make the crab bigger. That's all you can really do. Or you can do something kind of like what we have with Clauncher, where you're really emphasizing the claws. So if you were to just give Kingler some just big ass claws, and that's just kind of how it moves its body around, where it not only is just a really strong attack, but it's also moving around through the claws as well. I think that'd be an interesting take you could do it on it. Or you could just turn it into a lobster or something. Who knows? Just change it into a completely different crab style Pokemon. Go ahead and do that. Whoa, got a little bit darker. We'll keep it moving though. So next we have our Hitmonchan and Hitmonlee. And to be honest with you, I really don't see anything changing with them as far as getting a new evolution. I just think the designs are just so perfect, and there really isn't anything to add on to the designs. I just personally feel that way, so I don't really think it's going to happen, but I guess it's possible because it does have another stage to go, because we have Tyro going into those two, and then could potentially turn into something, but I would say it's less than a 1% chance that that's going to be happening anytime soon. Another one that probably won't happen, but I think it would be kind of cool if it did, would be the Goldeen line. So we have Goldeen, then Seeking, and then we get to a point where, I mean, they just look like fish. Let's be real, they look like fish, so maybe they could do something pretty dynamic with it, where with that final stage, you could do something where it's a little bit more intriguing and something more modern Pokemon rather than old school Pokemon, where with old school, it's a little bit more simple design style. So with Seeking, maybe you could do something extravagant and turn it into some Piranha style Pokemon. Who knows? I think it'd be kind of cool. Just give it a little bit of more of a Pokemon vibe than more of a traditional Pokemon vibe, if you kind of get what I'm saying. If not, then just ignore everything I'm saying. And then next we have is Mr. Mime. Now we could have Old Man Mime. As far as Mr. Mime goes, we got Mime Jr., we got Mr. Mime. Maybe we need Senior Mime, and with Senior Mime, could give it a, well, I mean, it's fairy type now, so I think they could definitely go for a fairy style Mime Senior to finish off the trio. Now, Tauros would actually be an interesting one where it doesn't even have a baby form, so giving it a different style for a Galarian form would be pretty neat. I think making it a steel type into more of a battle armored version where we have the armored evolution speculation, I think it honestly fit perfect with Tauros. So if we had a metal normal Tauros, who knows, they like to keep normal types with when they're normal and just add on another typing. I don't understand it, but that's what they do, so I would assume it would be a steel and normal typing, and then evolve into a new Tauros where maybe the tusks are like, or tusks, the horns are super long, something like that, and its legs become extra strong. So if you just think of like a really strong bull where it's just massively muscular, where you'd see like some sculptures or whatever, I think it'd be kind of neat. Now, Lapras is one that we really thought I think would probably fit a lot better if it happened in the Alola region. Now, in the Galar region, there's not like the kind of tropical vibe to it, so I just don't see why they'd bring it to Galar instead of Alola. Now, everyone kind of wants it. You can turn it into a freaking island on its back and it would be amazing. You can do so many different things with it. You can make it turn into like a fire type or something and have like a volcano coming out of its back. You can literally just change it to whatever kind of surface you want, and that's going to be the new typing for it. So I think it'd be actually really neat if they did end up giving Lapras an evolution, and Lapras is really iconic, so maybe just giving a new regional variant of it would be step 1, and then with step 2, just kind of see where you can take it, have some fun with it, make it to a full dinosaur that's really menacing looking, bring those teeth back from the original art that it was given. I think it'd be pretty neat. And Ditto, I mean, can we even like give another form to Ditto? I don't even know. Choose what you want in the comments. Now, Eevee would be really nice. We already have a ton of evolutions, but I think it would be cool just to add it on. It doesn't really have to do anything with the third stage. I think it'd be pretty sweet if we'd have like Flareon evolve or something like that. But I think that just the designs are so perfect, I just don't know if it's necessary, but I mean, hey, it's possible. Now, Omanite and Omastar, you definitely could take it up a notch, and with that, you could maybe go for a prehistoric route. And what I mean by a prehistoric route is by just making it fully ground and rock type, just because that's where it's been buried for millions of years. So bringing it back into its original state, I think would be kind of interesting. Give it that evolution that just kind of takes it over the edge would be pretty neat to see. And then you could also say the same thing for Kabuto and Kabutops, where prehistoric, make it even more prehistoric with its final evolution, get kind of like a primal evolution vibe where it still has that same style of form, but then you're able to give it some kind of a power within where it glows or something like that. I don't even know. I'm just hypothesizing on the top of my head. I'm just here to give you the list. And then we also have Snorlax. I mean, you could just make Snorlax fatter, or you can make it ripped and skinny and just show the before and after photos, but it's in an evolution line. I think that'd be kind of cool. If you were to give it a typing, I'd go fighting. Why not? It's all muscular and stuff. I think it'd actually be pretty sweet. We get an in-shape Snorlax evolution. There you go. It finally overcame its eating. I think that's a good feel-good story to me. Now with legendaries, they're not going to do legendary. It's not even worth my time. And then with Mew, same thing. Not going to work for Mew. Leave it at that. Don't give it any forms. I like it as it is. I don't think anyone else really wants it to be changed either. It's mythical Pokemon for a reason. You shouldn't see variants of it. That's just my opinion. Alright guys, so that is all of Gen 1 potential regional variant evolutions that could happen in Sword and Shield. Now, we only had one so far with Weezing, but we're definitely going to get more. As it said on the Pokemon website, I would really like to get more than just Kanto forms, but I thought if I'm going to start on the list, might as well start with Gen 1 and work our way through the rest of the regions to get to see what could possibly be happening in the future games. So I'm getting excited for it. I just got blown away when I saw the new variant evolution. That just, I mean, they did it. They did it. They accomplished and they surprised me. That's been a tough thing for Pokemon to do, and they did it. So I'm gonna ride it out because I'm looking forward to these games. Yep, I said it. I don't care. Don't bring back the National Dex. I am okay with that. I will live. You will live too. They'll come back in another game, enjoy the new Pokemon and all the new regional variants, and I hope we get a lot more than what we did with Alola, because 30 is clearly not enough, because I am obsessed with these things and I need about 100 or more. And I think that's about it for today. I'm probably talking too long. You guys are probably even off this video waiting for Gen 2, so I'll work on that. I'll see you guys in the next one. Have a good one.
Hey trainers, Ash Ketchum here to thank you for watching the Poke Resort. Become a Pokemon Master by subscribing to Austin's channel. Don't forget to see his other recent videos so you can watch them all. Pikachu and I have surfing lessons with Austin's Alolan Raichu, so we'll catch you later.